When I ask kids about high school, I often hear things like, "What if the high schoolers flushed my head down the toilet?" It sounds dramatic, but for these kids, their fears are real. They're imagining worst case scenarios because no one's told them what to expect. Changing school is a big deal for any student, whether it's because of a move, things not working out at the current school, or that big leap from primary to high school. It is a lot to manage. New routines, unfamiliar faces, unfamiliar buildings, and a whole new set of expectations. And for most kids, this can be uncomfortable but manageable, especially if it's scaffolded in the right way. But for some young people, especially those that are neurodivergent, anxious, or have a history of school refusal, these transitions can be a tipping point. What feels like it's just a challenge for others can feel completely unsafe for them. I'm going to walk you through what helps any student prepare for a school change, and then zoom in on what we know helps when a young person already finds school hard to cope with. I'll use the primary to high school transition as our example, but this advice applies to any school change, especially for vulnerable students. Why the jump to high school is so big. Let's talk about what makes this transition so hard, because it's not just about the uniform or the bigger buildings. It's a systems change. In primary school, your child has one teacher most of the day, they've built a relationship, they've got a home base. By year 6, most kids know the layout, the expectations, the people. Then, almost overnight, they're thrown into a system where they're expected to move every 45 minutes, manage multiple teachers, find their way around a much bigger campus, handle more complex social dynamics, and take far more responsibility for managing themselves. For a lot of kids, that's overwhelming. But for neurodivergent or anxious students, it's not just hard, it's dysregulating. It can lead to panic, shutdown, or complete refusal. The invisible skills high schools assume. Switching between subjects and teachers without support. Managing a timetable and knowing where to be and when. Keeping track of books, assessments, and passwords. Regulating their emotions under stress, noise, and pressure. Asking for help from someone they've just met. For kids with anxiety, ADHD, autism, or trauma, these skills don't just click in first day of high school. They have to be built on purpose with scaffolding. Even though I'm focusing on primary school to high school transition, these same principles can apply to any school change. Whether you're changing primary schools, moving because of bullying, or finding a better fit, these ideas can make a huge difference in how safe and supported these transitions feel. What a real transition plan looks like. Here's the thing. Some schools, they'll give you a one-day orientation, maybe a tour, a sausage sizzle, and that's it. Then they'll throw your child in the deep end and hope they'll swim. But if your child is anxious, neurodivergent, or already disengaged from school, that's not just unhelpful, it's setting them up to fail. When I've worked with students on high-quality transitions, the plan doesn't start on day 1. It starts term 3 or term 4 the year before, sometimes even earlier. It builds slowly and predictably and helps build confidence before they even sit in a high school classroom. Real strategies that work. Number 1, really get to know the school. Don't leave it to chance. One of the most powerful ways to reduce anxiety is to take away the fear of the unknown. Each year when I ask students what they think high school will be like, I'm always blown away with some of the wild assumptions some of them come up with. Things like, I'm scared they'll flush my head down the toilet, or someone might force me to vape, or what if a year 12 punches me? It sounds extreme, but it's real for them, and it makes sense. The brain will fill in the blanks for the worst case scenarios. And if they don't know what's coming, their imagination will come up with something terrifying for them to hold on to. That's why part of your transition plan has to be about filling in those blanks, familiarity, and safe, fun experiences. The more they know, the less room there is for fear. Scavenger hunts around the school when it's empty can be fantastic. This gives your child a chance to walk around the halls, find the toilets, the canteen, their future classroom. You're building a map in their mind so it's not overwhelming later. Finding some creative ways that they can learn some fun facts about the school can be really helpful. Even small things like what colour the lockers are, what sports the school has, what are some of the things that the canteen sells, what's the uniform policy. For an anxious child, that can give them something to latch onto. 2. Build in positivity. Joining a fun or new subject like cooking, manual arts, or sport. Let them try something they've never done in primary school, something that makes them feel older, capable, curious. This creates a positive anticipation instead of fear. 3. Start relationships early. Kids don't connect with systems, they connect with people. Introduce them to as many people as possible, but 1 or 2 key staff members early. Ideally, someone who's warm, understanding, and likely to be a safe base. The goal is for your child to walk in on day 1 and know someone, hopefully multiple people, and know that they can walk up to that person and they've got their back. Number 4, make it a process, not a moment. A real transition plan isn't a one-day visit, it's a sequence. Use gradual exposure over multiple weeks. Start with walking around the school grounds. Next, maybe visit a classroom. Then, stay for a lunch break. And finally, stay for a full class that they actually enjoy. Each step builds confidence. If your school isn't offering this level of support, ask for it. Don't wait until things go wrong in the first week. Here's some things that they can start building now. Learning how to pack their school bag or locker with what they need for each class each day. Using a timetable or planner and adjusting when things change. Practicing how to ask for help or say when something's not okay. Handling small transitions like moving from break to learning. Managing mistakes like forgetting a book or being late without shutting down. Starting calm morning routines that support regulation. This could be a formal program, but it doesn't need to be. Just simple, real-life moments that build confidence step by step. You don't need to tick every box. Your child doesn't need to be ready in every way. But if they start learning these skills now, they'll walk into their new school with more confidence, and that can change everything. If you found this video helpful, I share videos like this every week. Navigating, supporting school transitions, school refusal, and everything in between. Feel free to subscribe or share this with a friend who's also going through it too. And if your child needs a little more help, make contact. The Guided Path provides intensive transition supports. You don't have to walk this path alone.